Hello, or I guess I'm gonna say holla holla holla. This is Longanisa, aka the Dim Sum Don, aka Tommy Dreamsicle, aka the man with the flan, aka Yum Chow real smooth now. Dun, 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 turn it out, aka the Flanimal Bautista. I walk alone around the pit of lechon, aka the Vegan Killer, Randy Otap, aka Big Match, Gian Sinagang, aka the Gunatic Fringe, aka the Suzuki Goon, aka Magandang Umaga, aka the good Bob Boy, yeah, 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 aka all gas, no break, Jacob Puto, you know what I mean? Because I love you, Solo Suka, aka your host. And today I'm here with somebody who I think is one half of the best tag team podcast about New Japan Pro Wrestling. This man has a fantastic beard. This man is a handsome man, debonair man. He got gray hair. You know what it is. He is the podfather of social suplex. And I'm gonna be honest, he's the ace for me. We got here Jeremy Donavan. How you doing, man?
Hey Doc, doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. I had to give you another call because, like, you know, you this is crazy. Your last episode blew up, so I had to go to the well again. I had to call a main eventer. I had to call
Top
someone to
draw.
save a top draw, top guy to save the territory. I gotta call Jeremy Donovan, and it's it's an honor to have you on, man, because I know we've been talking about this since the beginning, and to have you on again, this rules, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Looking forward to jumping on, talking with you. It
Yeah.
seems like you've been killing it, doing your thing, man. This thing's been popping, so yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Like, look, when I have to give somebody like you of your status, I have to give you a solo episode. Because, I mean, it's great you're on a panel, but, I want people to know who the real Jeremy is, Who I had to give you a spotlight. And here we are, man. And, like, just to get the wrestling out of the way, because for me, the wrestling is, just a little part of you, man. That's just the little part that everybody knows about. But I just want to let everybody know, how'd you get into wrestling, man?
Yeah, so for me, growing up, my whole family was pretty much into wrestling, specifically my grandfather. So my earliest memories are, being 2, 3 years old, sitting on my grandpa's lap, watching the Road Warriors squash some geeks on
Hell yeah.
TV. And so that's like my earliest memory. And so I just have always been watching wrestling. And then, growing up, yeah, my mom, my grandma used to watch. They both loved Bret Hart and Stone Cold. And so it was kind of like a family thing. Everybody was into it. And yeah, and then as I got older, it was mainly just me and my grandpa watching together. And so I just never stopped watching wrestling. I know a lot of people kind of have their in and out to take a break or whatever, but
Yeah.
I never stopped. Me and my grandpa just kept going, and I just yeah fell in love with wrestling as a kid and just have just never stopped watching it. And I'm now uh, 35 years old, and I can say I've never taken a break from wrestling. I've always been watching something since a kid.
Yeah, man. That's the same with me. My mom was the one who My mom came here from the Philippines as a fan. My dad's brother came here from the Philippines as a fan because I guess WWF was big in the Philippines. I'm not sure how, but apparently it was big there. And like, there's never a time that I've ever stopped watching wrestling. Like even like, cause you heard, man, I gave like the ruthless aggression dudes my those are three of my favorites. I'm not ashamed to say I like Randy Orton. I love John Cena. I love Batista. I love Dumaga. Those are my guys. Like, and that's I know that's like deep in the zeros when so many people fell off. So many people fell off. Like from because I'm a little older than you. I'm 40, but I know a
Okay.
lot of people my age like they fell off like in the 2000s, and like the people who stuck around were the sickos like me who never stopped. Like, and not when I say never stopped, like I didn't stop when the Inokiism took all over New Japan. I saw it in real time when this shift was to Nakamura, to Tadao Yasuda, to Fujita, to Chono, to Brock Lesnar. I never stopped watching New Japan either because New Japan was one of my and like when I was like, when did you get started with New Japan?
So I didn't started watching New Japan until like 2016. So I
Okay,
mean, like growing up, I'd always like heard of New Japan, and you would see guys like Yuji Nagata
yeah,
come over to WCW. And I was like, all right, where did this
yeah,
guy come from? What's his deal? And then as I got older, I got into Ring of Honor and TNA, and then
yeah,
guys would come over to those promotions. And it's like, all right, where are these guys coming from? And then the more you just kind of dive into the internet, you can learn about those guys. But Japanese wrestling, even in the early 2000s, was still kind of hard to watch. You had to know the right places to go and the right connections, and I just never
yeah,
dove
man,
that deep into it. And then Ring of Honor, and especially in those mid 2000 aughts, they had the partnership with New Japan and were bringing guys over for their War of the Worlds tours and
yeah,
stuff like that. So I see a lot of guys there. I'm like, man, this is pretty awesome. And then I'm a huge AJ Styles fan, and when he got announced as being part of New Japan, I was like, okay, I gotta find a way to check this out. So that's kind of when I started watching New Japan with AJ and started seeing some of his big matches. And so I kind of started off, just jumping into the big shows and checking out the Wrestle Kingdoms and the Dominions and stuff like that. And then the more I got into it, I just fell in love with the product. I was a very dissatisfied WWE fan, and I just watched it because I thought oh, it's a thing. Been watching as a kid, got to keep watching. And WrestleMania in New Orleans 34, 2017 or 2018. That kind of was like the first like major break for me from WWE, like them beating Roman again with Brock, and just how bad that whole show was. I
right,
was kind of like, this is not the product for me. And Social Suplex, I just kind of got started around that time, and we had a lot of shows that were covering WWE, NXT, and it's like I don't want to do another WWE show. And I was like, me and Josh just got done watching a New Japan show. And we're like, man, like we love this. Like we should just do a New Japan podcast. And so from then on, since we started the show, so Keeping Strong Style started November 2017. Until since then, I've watched every single Road to Lions Break, Lions Gate, every single major New Japan show, US, Japan. If a show has made tape, I've watched it since 2017. And that's where I got in New Japan and continue to fall in love with the product.
that's cool, man. You know, that shows how real sicko you are to watch all those Road to shows, because I could never. Man, if I knew you back then, I could have sent you all the real player links. I could have sent you like the live streams from New Japan because I used to be on all those websites.
Mhm.
Um, I believe I don't know if I because Josh's episode is gonna air before this. So like I think I talked a little bit about it, but there was these websites like Pro Wrestle Fan, Pro Wrestle Spirits, where you could go. I was gonna say hook up, but that's not what it was. It wasn't that kind of website, ladies and gentlemen. It was like you could like find other fans and like they would have live streams, and the live streams would be through Real Player, which is an ancient it's an ancient player for computers, and like I was able to watch a couple of things live. Like I would watch Nitros live. they're that way, I will watch. That's how I watch Kensuke versus Kawada, and that's when I first got my glorious T1 cable, so I was able to watch it with kind of not choppy, so it was pretty cool. But
Nice.
it's just yeah, man. I've been with New Japan ever since I saw them in my the first couple tapes I rented from the video store that my parents and my uncle rented was like WCW Super Show 91 and 92, and that's where I got like first saw like the Japanese wrestling and the Japanese style. And then the video store next to us actually was owned by a someone that just moved from Japan and happened to be a big wrestling fan, so they would also get the commercial tapes for New Japan, All Japan, FMW, All Japan Women's, and they'd also have the laser discs, so I would be able to watch stuff in that time that I would call high quality. But I don't think a lot of people have that kind of experience. But I think I'm just lucky in that point. But it's just like you guys, I gotta tell you this, Jeremy. You guys have the best New Japan podcast, the best coverage, the way that you guys break things down, like how you say like see the future of the company, how you were saying like all these things. Your breakdowns are good, man. They're very entertaining. You guys are just very entertaining, and you guys don't have to talk about porn in the middle of your podcast to get over it.
Well,
Eh, you know,
well, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're super passionate about wrestling, especially New Japan. And if we weren't doing the podcast, I mean, these would be the kind of conversations that Josh and I would have unrecorded. And so essentially this is like our essentially our weekly check-in of the podcast. And this is where we talk and catch up and yeah, talk about what's going on in New Japan. So yeah, it's like a real conversation that we would have. Now it's just yeah, being recorded and hundreds of people are listening in on it. And so yeah, the love and support has been great over the years. And yeah, just really love
yeah,
connecting with the IWC as people like to say.
yeah, man. Like, cause I'm a big fan of you guys, and I know I've been like, I've been like, just like always like asking you guys stuff like this and like that. And I gotta say, like, you and Josh are very helpful for like me setting this whole thing up. Like, it was very encouraging, like, just having those conversations with you. It like, it kind of like set me on like a path to like to see what I actually want to do, Um, because you guys kind of like set the tone about where I want to go. Like you, Josh, Rich, and James, that's it set up like what I wanted to do. And I gotta say, man, there's representation is important, not just in
Mhm.
wrestling, not just in what we watch, but in like the tastemakers. Because for so long, the tastemakers have just been, it's been the majority, and like you, you guys, for all intents and purposes, four of you with the space of the Social Suplex Discord, with this network, have created like something diverse, and to have like four people of color on like the forefront of that. I know Josh is only a person of color when it's convenient for him, but like it's really something for me, man, to like see you guys be as popular as you are, be as referenced as you are, and be held in reverence as you are. Like that's a lot to me. I love seeing that, man, because we need that in the wrestling community. We need that. We need more than just a guy from New York complaining in front of his computer and like espousing on whatever. And we need more than that, man. We need more than that, and you guys provide that. And I want to say thank you, man. As the
well,
podfather of Social Suplex, I gotta, I gotta pay my respects.
thanks, man. I appreciate it, and it's so cool to see kind of what social suplex has become. Because when this thing first started, I mean, it was just me writing blogs. Is how it started in 2014, and then I somehow randomly found Rich on Twitter. We were responding to each other's tweets about Monday Night Raw, and then
Mm.
we realized, oh, we live like 30 minutes away from each other. And I see like, oh, he's doing a lot of wrestling writing. He has a podcast. Like maybe we should like work together. And then We,
Hell yeah.
started going to shows together, became friends, and started working together with Social Suplex, One Nation Radio, and then that launched into the whole network. And it's crazy as how like we've never like, the goal was never like we want to create this diverse platform, and that's our mission statement of like
Yeah.
creating a space for representation. It was just like we're two guys who are really passionate about wrestling, and we want our own platform. Our the mission at the time was more of like the guys like Dave Meltzer, like they're getting up there, and like who's gonna be the voice of our generation,
Yeah.
and we wanted to be that voice, and that was the tagline at one point for the network was the new voice of wrestling, and that was kind of the goal. But like since then, like when we started like and bringing more people in. Like we had a lot of diverse writers when we used to
Yeah.
do more writing. Guys like Simon Cotton would come on, and we had a large, diverse writers. Tavon, like, I'm thinking of so many guys right now that all these like black writers that love wrestling just came and started writing for the network, for the site, and then when we launched the network and we're doing podcasts and where we're bringing in shows from Scotland. We had Ricky and Clive, shout out to them, and we've had uh, people from Australia, England, like, and just how crazy, I guess, how diverse our lineup with content became, which is so cool to see. Like, and then especially like this year, like we brought on Trish and Sarah and the Tone Talk girls, and like really
Love them.
pumping up like the female representation. And
Yeah.
and Trish is heading up the newsletter that's going out bi-weekly. So it's just cool, so cool to see how it has become this platform where people of color, people from different countries, different genders can come and kind of create a place for their voice and for their platform.
Yeah, I think that's very important. As far as like with Tunnel Talk, you have them watching wrestling as like just like they're watching a TV show. Although the new gimmick of Leia being a work rate fiend, that's excellent. But like just like like having the Tunnel Talkers, having Trish and Sarah on, like being able to show like all these varied like voices, like giving space to the women where like they are like everyone is on their own thing and everybody has their own voice and everybody is like coming together for this one thing called social suplex, and it's dope, man. Like I love it. Like I love it. I love all the international flavor. I love the equality in it, and like it's what I want. It's what you want to see. It's what you want to see in anything. You want to see like you want to see people who don't really have a voice to actually have a voice, to actually feel like they matter, like, and the fact that it wasn't your mission statement and it just ended up happening, that's even that's even more uh great. That's even greater, man. That's great.
Yeah, man.
You always want to have something where it's just a byproduct of what you're doing. And like for my show, I love always interviewing a whole bunch of people. Whether well, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what race, creed, and color. Like my mission statement said, wrestling fans are wrestling fans, and they're not a monolith. And your shows, your website, your Discord is a great example of that, man. And you're you're rocking it, man. This is great. This is what wrestling needs. Um, Oftentimes, like as a wrestling fan, I would go on to other places and just feel kind of like sort of discarded, or like sort of
Mhm.
like I don't really mesh with like the people on that in that server, right? So like when I first came to you guys like in 2021, I can make jokes about Kid Cudi. I can make jokes about, I'm not gonna say I'm over here, but like I can make jokes that like people would actually understand and get, and like but people don't understand that point. Like they're being a wrestling fan, it could be lonely, but it also like if you have certain feelings that you have and you feel like you can't share them because people aren't gonna understand them, it sucks. Sometimes you feel like even if you're in a Discord that's full of like people, you feel like you can't really express yourself. But I've never had that feeling there, you know. And whether it's the vibes of who's in there, I don't know, but like it's a good feeling, man. And uh, yeah, again, like thank you. I have to excuse my language. I gotta glaze you up, you know, but like like just because like it's important to me that people know like that there are spaces where people can come and just feel like they can express their opinions on wrestling without it being lambasted, being dogpiled on, and it's great. It's great to have because you have such a diverse range of fans, and it's great to see all the women come and join the Discord and like give their opinions, and it's important. Shout out to Nejma,
Yeah.
and like it's just like that's what I like. It's and now moving beyond that, we were talking earlier about like music taste, right, man? And I want the people to know this. So what's your go-to karaoke songs?
So my number one go-to karaoke song is "Kryptonite" by Three Doors Down. That's like if I'm doing karaoke, that's one I'm always
Nice.
doing.
If I go crazy, oh you just call me Superman. Like that's a hard song, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know how you can keep up with that because there's like there's peaks in that song like where it doesn't feel like he's taking a breath. It's and then like he's like goes from like shouting to like just like talking normal voice and then to whispering and then back to shouting. I don't know how you can do that, but kudos, man.
Yeah, I try my best. I mean, it's not a classically trained singing or anything. You drink some liquid courage and you grab the microphone and it's a beautiful noise to some.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love karaoke. As a Filipino American man, I gotta tell this to you, like karaoke is the national sport of the Philippines, man. And
Okay.
like they take it really serious. Like if you're seeing My Way, Frank Sinatra, uh, you'll get shot if you do a real bad job at it. Like it's serious. This is why I sing My Way from Usher. Uh,
Okay.
less heat on that kind of My Way. Also, less heat on Limp Bizkit's My Way. You think you're special.
Yes. My way, you're the highway.
You talk about like it's one of like the iconic songs in wrestling. That song, it's still a hitter. Like every time WrestleMania, like it's I forgot to say this like during our episode, but like every time WrestleMania comes on, I put on like those two Limp Bizkit songs they did. I do. I'm a yeah, hell yeah, I'm a crack addict. Hell yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a
crack
crack
addict.
addict. Addicted to cracking skulls and causing static. That and you think you're special, like My Way. I always put those on. I put like
Yeah.
I put the so much larger than life. That song I put on
A
because
big time, yeah.
big time, like because like it's those songs like you hear them like all for like maybe 2 3 months and like it sets up like the theming for WrestleMania. I remember like give me the green light for one of the Orlando
Bro,
ones.
yes, like I went to that WrestleMania in Orlando and yeah, "Give Me the Green Light" was stuck in my head, like, driving to the show, leaving the show, like, walking out the stadium, everybody was singing, like, "Give me the green light," like, it was yeah, that's one thing I gotta admit with the Fed, they do a great job of their
Yeah,
marketing, and if there's something they wanna get over, they're gonna get it over, and they're gonna beat you over the head with it,
dude.
and so, yeah, you hear that WrestleMania theme over and over and over and over, and whether you like it or not, like, you have no choice but to start singing it or humming it as your day goes on.
I remember because like New Japan does that with Wrestle Kingdoms now, right? They have like the Wrestle Kingdom thing. There was one they played from like October all the way. I forgot the. I mean, it was in my head. I remember like it had like ghetto in the music video,
Yeah,
but like Wrestle Kingdom, they started to do that too. Like, and I think that's genius. If you get especially if you get like a really like catchy song to like play as like this is the theme to blah blah blah. It rules. Like like when we were kids, Highway to Hell for SummerSlam '98. no stop sign, speed limit. You hear that, you hear those chords, and you hear that lyric, and then you see Stone Cold walking down the fire hallway, right? And it's
Mhm.
like, I think a lot of things like in wrestling, some of the things that's like underrated is the soundtrack provided by wrestling. Like when it comes to like these pay-per-view builds, I think like music is really important in setting the tone for what the matches are gonna be. Like
Yeah,
I like
I,
when
and
you,
I,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I feel like, especially, I feel like in recent time, I feel like music has been a little under
Whelming.
utilized.
Yeah,
I can think of so many great songs that have been used as promo videos. I always remember the Daniel Bryan, Imagine
monster,
Dragons,
monster.
Monster
Oh, so
music
good.
video. Like there's like a great song could really help you tell a story and really make a promo video epic. And I remember in my backyard wrestling days, yeah, we would try to find those songs that could, yeah, we could make a promo video to a music video to. And I think there's a lot of power in music. And, as a kid, I used to get all the WWF Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume
Oh
3, the
yeah,
Aggression CDs. I used to get all the CDs
I
and
love those,
play
man.
them over and over again. And man, yeah, I think music is a huge part of wrestling. And even back to karaoke, theme songs can be great for karaoke. Cult of Personality is a
Oh
great
yeah,
one.
that's a good one.
Judas by Fozzy. I'll jump in on something like that.
Like one of my AKAs is Batista, is Batista, right? And I love Batista's song. I'll walk alone inside a pit of danger. Like that shit is
Yeah,
fire to me, man. Like,
bro, as a in that also probably in high school around then, yeah, we'd walk through the hallways doing the Batista machine gun taunt,
yo,
You
yeah, like that. Yeah, like a really great song can set you up for like greatness. Like, freaking, I know, like you're talking about like NXT, so like Bobby Roode, good wrestler, really good mechanic. All of a sudden, glorious, I will defend. Like all of a sudden, like that entrance, that robe, all of that. All of a sudden, he feels like the biggest thing. It's so weird, man. And like,
Yeah, man. That yeah, the glorious song, yeah, over the top, yeah, going to NXT shows live and being a part of that, yeah, that was cool. And I think even like theme songs for weekly TV, I feel has been kind of underutilized, undervalued, and
yeah.
the NXT, the roar of the crowd, like that was a great theme that got you into it. The original Dynamite theme song was great. I don't know why they ever changed the theme. Like
If
that was
if they're ever gonna change it, and he's a billionaire, he should get BTS Dynamite, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have a bunch of young women flock to the TV just to support BTS, and they'll hear light it up like dynamite. Oh, like it's gonna, it's like, like it's so perfect, and like they're so
yeah.
popular, and like it's just like it's so weird, like that we're not taking advantage of it. I remember they put the Pointer Sisters one time, and I was like, cool, and then they were coward. He cowered out of it. Like, what was it?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I don't know
like,
why they were changed. And I can remember like Thorn in My Eye from Monday Night Raw.
oh yeah,
Uh yeah, there's just so many over time, like great like theme songs
oh,
for um wrestling TV shows.
oh yeah, dude. I used to like the and I won't be denied. 'Cause
Oh, that
I
SmackDown.
love that one. I love the ECW one they had. That wasn't
Oh
ECW.
yes. Was
It
that
was
Saliva, I think?
yeah, something like that. It was like it was like the Christian era, like when Christian won the belt, and then like
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, man, like this is cool. I like that kind of music. I know like people make fun of it now, like oh you listen to butt rock. I'm like shake my butt rock. Hell yeah, I like this music. So you can't shame me. Um, I like you talk about like iconic music that you hear every year when you hear ding 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 ding. I always get like
Yes.
holy
Yeah, that
shit. You know?
That they have that every year that Wrestle Kingdom theme hits really hard. That's a great one. I mean, I think yeah, New Japan they do like they do bring in like actual songs, but then they also have like their kind of stock ones like that Wrestle Kingdom one,
Yeah,
Best of Super Juniors, Dominion. They kind of have like their
yeah.
generic themes for the tours, and yeah, all those are really good. But yeah, especially yeah,
You
when
just
October, November hits, that Wrestle Kingdom music really slaps.
oh man, like, it's like ridiculous how much like and like I go back to like even before Wrestle Kingdom, like the January 4th song, and like, I sort of miss like the New Japan Victory music that they used to have. Uh, but like, cause like UFC also like they had like the Victory music, like and like when UFC moved away from Bring the Pain, but Bring the Pain, you know, like that song, that's kind
Mhm.
of where I saw the UFC going down in popularity for me. I need that. I need that Bring the Pain, breaking them into pieces. I need that. Like when you have like a distinctive song that defines your company, it's important to keep that kind of thing alive. But I do like more recently like hearing Megan Thee Stallion on SmackDown because like it's cool to have like contemporary music as your theme because like it kind of sets like the tone. So like having her like a Watashi wa sta like that song is it's catchy, it's nice, and like it's cool to have like um variety in music. And like that goes on to say, man, like so what's like your favorite like theme song?
Oh man, I mean,
There's so
there's so
many.
many. I mean, growing up as a kid, I was a big Shawn Michaels guy,
Oh
so
yeah.
I think "Sexy Boy" was definitely always one of my favorite themes growing up. Love the DX theme. You mentioned Batista. The Batista theme was great. Love the first Rey Mysterio theme. Who's that jumping out the sky? REY
REY Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Here we go.
Yeah, yeah,
Once
that
it.
was great.
Oh man.
Uh, I mean, some more modern ones like I love Battle Cry. Kenny's AW theme is
It
awesome.
it's grown on me, man. It's really grown on me because like you hear those first chords, do 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 like the first chords are always the most important part of the song, and he does like a little build up, and then when the drop hits, you're like, oh hell yeah! It's
Yeah,
like
actually, for my wedding, we found like a piano version of Battle Cry that I walked out to like on the way up to
ah,
my wedding.
that's cute, man. What did your wife come out to the regular thing?
I mean, she had a song that she wanted that to come out too, but yeah, she was gracious enough to let me come out, walk out to the that classic piano version of Battle Cry.
Yeah, I tell you, when I was getting married, because I got married during COVID, so I didn't get to have the big walkout. And we didn't have the reception, so I didn't get to have the other big walkout because you got two. You got the one when you come out, then you got the one when you're Mr. and Mrs., right?
Mhm.
So, like in my head, I was like, okay, what song am I playing in my head? I'm like thinking, oh, it's like, why is this the song? It's like the $1 Million Man theme is for some reason is playing in my head. I have no idea why, but that's the first thing that came into my head. But because I think it's like some of these songs, like the drum and bass line, is what like sticks with you. Dun, 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 dun. Like like those like that's kind of what like stands out to me. Like and Battle Cry, like that has like man, I love that song now. Like I used to hate it.
Yeah,
Are you ready to like? But like it's just like it rules. It rules. It like really encapsulates like his new character. Um.
yeah, love that. Swerve's big pressure
Oh yeah,
theme. Love that.
catch a vibe, man. But,
Yeah. Yeah, there's so throughout wrestling, yeah, there's been a lot of really great themes, but yeah, those are some of my favorites right there.
yeah, man. I like because this has been like a big subject in wrestling recently because of all like the weird Def Rebel AI music. It's like you can actually music. Everybody's now talking about how important the music is for wrestlers, and like it really is. You could like you could like mess a wrestler up just because of their theme music. Um, well, or like they'll make a new theme and you just won't stick with it. Like what Mina Shirakawa came out to that new song and then that was it. And then by the time she won the
Yeah.
match, it was back to Don Kumar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like like sometimes you gotta try stuff out. Like Orton, Randy Orton has like, hey, nothing you could say, and like,
Yeah, dude, that theme was great. That was an epic theme.
yeah,
And I know he hates it, but yeah, that was a great one.
yeah.
Um,
I
AJ
actually,
Styles,
yeah,
I am Get Ready to Fly. Like I know
oh,
he also hates that now,
yeah,
but if he ever walked out to that again, like I would lose my mind.
man. If they needed to buy anything from TNA, it's the AJ Styles song. If this is really his swan song, dee dee
Yeah,
dee dee dee. Oh man, that's
and I
bringing
know
back some nostalgia,
there
man.
yeah, and I know there's rumors of him going to AEW, and if he ever did, yeah, like TK, like
Buy it.
buy the rights, yeah, get the grits version, get ready to fly, yeah, dude, that'd be epic.
Uh, I mean, he basically has that Christian TNA theme. Like it,
Yeah, yeah,
it's and I also love that, even though I know it's a knockoff of Close Your Eyes, blah 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 blah. But like, which also I think that's a fire theme. I love. I'm a peep. I'm a peep for life. I gotta admit it. Cause like, he's one of my favorites, just in ring and everything. He's still good,
yeah.
but like he's too old. He's too old to be where his spot is, but he's too good to not be in that spot. It's a conundrum for me. Um,
Yeah, I'm a peep too, man. I've always been a fan of Christian, and I loved his TNA run. I thought he had a
yeah,
great run there, and
that's
even
why
like
I
his
watch
ECW.
TNA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Christian Coalition,
Yeah,
even his ECW run, which I know a lot of people didn't really watch ECW, didn't really
it
like
was
it, but I thought
great.
his ECW run was great. He had a lot of great matches there, and really carried that brand. So yeah, Christian's always been awesome. Always been a fan of his, and I know people, they like to compare him and Cope, but I'm like, I don't know. When it comes to in ring, I don't know. I think I go Christian.
Yeah, I feel like what Cope has on Christian was that he was just pushed harder a little bit.
Yeah.
He was pushed harder. That was it. But like Christian still, he was still world champ. He still main evented. He still was world champion in WWE, which is still a big deal. Um, but like it's just like everything. Not to shit on Edge, but not, but like Christian for me just gave me more entertainment. I was entertained by Edge. I love Cope. I sang the song when I went to Revolution. I had the video of everybody in the arena forgetting the second lyric. We go, on this day, I see clearly, and then there's like this whole thing of silence because we thought like, oh, that's the end of the entrance. Oh, it's still going, and then we waited for the chorus again. Just to feel love, which also that's a fire song. I'm so happy he bought the rights to it. He knows
Yeah.
of everything. Cope knows that that's his whole deal is that entrance. And if you don't have that, what do you have? Like when we saw Sandman in WWE, and he that first one night stand, and you hear ding 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 ding, and it's like the real Sandman entrance.
Hmm.
It's so
Yeah.
great in Hammerstein, and you see him like bash his skull in with his Singapore cane, drinking the beers, smoking, and then like you see him in WWE CW, and it's just like a knockoff, and you're just like, this is not it. It'd be like it's like when New Jack was in TNA, and they're not gonna use Natural Born Killers, so it's like, oh man, what is this? Which I'm hoping. Uh, I know this is we're recording this before the pay-per-view, but I'm hoping one day before like Anarchy in the Arena or Stadium Stampede that TK just says okay and then hits the button and it's Natural Born Killers because I will love that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just just 15 minutes of like but like there's so much that like ties wrestling and music to me because uh the music sets the stage for what the wrestling is going to be. And then like when you hear that theme music after the person wins, there's also like an additional like feeling of elation, right? Because like Shawn Michaels he hits sweet cue music on Brett, and then you hear ding 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 ah, like it makes the moment feel bigger. Like imagine Hulk Hogan, like when Hulk Hogan was doing the poses at WrestleMania X8 to just no music. Imagine if they hit Real American, how much bigger
Yeah.
that reaction would have been. It's like these things are important, and like there, when it comes to like New Japan, like I love the New Japan music, like the Naito theme, and then
Yeah, Naito theme's epic.
like I love Suji's theme. Like of all the new guys, he has one of the best themes. All the War
Yeah.
Dogs have good themes. I they're my dogs for real. They're my dogs for real. Like it's just I love music when it comes to wrestling. I'm not embarrassed to say that when I would go to the gym, I would hit the wrestling playlist and like do my cardio to like a whole thing of like Kurt Angle's TNA music. I'm gonna name
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, a trademark. Yeah, that
Yeah,
Kurt Angle TNA theme was great. And
yeah,
I'm right there with you, man. Yeah, my workout playlist has a ton of wrestling themes all on it.
yeah. It's like because like it really gets you pumped. And then like one of my favorite themes, because I know like on our episode we talk about wrestlers we see ourselves in, right? And I said I know Floyd identifies as Arn Anderson, which is great to me. But like so like even I identify like as a one of the white wrestlers I identify with is Mick Foley. And like whether it's the Mr. Bang Bang theme, which I loved as a kid. I loved that
Mhm.
WCW. I had that Slam Jam album on tape. I
Nice.
I would always play Mr. Bang Bang. I love they call him the natural. Uh, that's a good one. I love like Don't Step to Ron because that's my name. So like and I loved Ron Simmons, but like just the fact that his song was "Don't Step to Ron," and like that's my name, I was like, oh okay, cool. And for a little bit when I used to do like a little backyard, that was my song because he don't step to Ron,
Nice.
and like it's like yeah, man, like that tape I used to listen to it all. I think that was the first wrestling music tape. I'm not sure if that was the first one there was because there was that WWF the album before, but like that's the first one I had. And like you hit those songs, you hit everybody, here comes Tuco Scorpio. Do 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 do. I love that, man. I love that. I love music and wrestling. That no one can tell me different because like it's so it adds to the atmosphere. It adds everything to the character. And it's just important to me. Um, and like for me, when I do karaoke, um, I like to I besides like Usher's My Way and like New York, New York. I also really the wrestling song that I sing. But I saw Judas last like when I went last time. I saw Judas in the lineup. I was like, okay, I do have to do this just because it's gonna pop me. I know no one else
Yeah.
knows the song, but I know. But like I saw what's the song? It's blanking in my head. Oh yeah, CM Punk's "This Fire Burns." I saw that
Oh
in the
yeah.
lineup. I love that song.
Yeah, that was a
Even
great theme.
through yeah, like that song is just it has the right amount of like of guitar in it, and yeah, dude, it rules. I love your taste in music, Jeremy. Alternative
Thanks, man.
rock is like one of my favorite genres. Whether you're talking about Three Doors Down, or you're talking about Linkin Park, the GOAT, or like I love Mars Volta. I love All American Rejects. I love this music, man. It's just it's the voice of that generation. It really goes back to the aughts. It brings me back to that time, and I love that. Uh,
Yeah, man.
the when another thing we talked about is like you like the Marvel. You like Marvel. Um,
Yeah.
I really I liked everything, almost everything up to even past Endgame, because but like wrestling, I don't stop watching comic book movies because I'm a nerd and I love comic book movies. So I sat through Love and Thunder. I sat through all respect to Captain America, the new Captain America movie. It was all right. And then, you know, that Ant-Man movie was not good. Um, I I just didn't like it, and like man, at least Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that as a finale, separate, all separate from like what was going on, that was good.
Yeah, yeah, that
Guardians
was really great.
Guardians is probably my favorite of the series for Marvel, and then like I include like the Christmas special on there. Uh,
Mm,
I like
yeah.
that Christmas special. It's like just silly enough for me to just like because it you just follow them through like what a normal day would be for these crazy like aliens who just do whatever they want, and their whole sense of what Earth is comes from Peter's tall tales.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I love the Marvel movies. Yeah, I've watched everything up to Endgame, and that's kind of where I started not following as deeply. I mean, I did see Love and Thunder. I saw the Spider-Man that came out
hey,
after that.
yeah,
I did see the Ant-Man movie, but yeah, I haven't seen the new Captain America yet. Haven't seen Thunderbolts yet, but I did watch a lot of the Disney Plus stuff. So I watched WandaVision. I watched what else has been on there? The Winter Soldier show that was on there.
yeah.
Um,
Daredevil was great, man.
yeah, Daredevil Reborn. Yeah, a lot of the shows that have come out there. I've watched a lot of those, but I haven't seen all the movies. But yeah, as a kid, I always really enjoyed Marvel cartoons. Fox Kids Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
You had the Spider-Man cartoon. You had X-Men
You want to
cartoon.
you want to talk about dope themes, man? Oh man, the moment that hit, I'm already jumping out my chair, eating my Cheerios, just saying, yeah, it's time. I like even the Spider-Man theme was dope too, like Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. I love that. Those were two of my
Yeah.
shows growing up, and like, yeah, man. So like, what was it about these shows that like just really appealed to you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just as a kid, you're watching cartoons, and yeah, it was just they were just awesome. Just in the X Men, and there were so many different heroes and their powers. I was a big Nightcrawler
Oh
fan
yeah,
with with and yeah, as a kid, you sit down and you watch that Fox Kids block, and it was just I don't know, it's entertaining, and it's really enjoyed those shows. And they had a X-Men video game at Chuck E. Cheese,
oh yeah,
the arcade thing, and I get on there, be Nightcrawler, and like beat it all the time. And yeah, it was just
yeah,
something cool about superheroes as a kid growing up.
yeah. I loved using Colossus in that game.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was great on there.
yeah, like that whole period of like X-Men and Spider-Man and Batman would come on and then Superman would be on later. It was just like perfect. And like it's kind of like and then after those shows like at 11 you get WWF Superstars. And then you wait a little bit longer and then it's WCW Saturday Night. And then if you were smart about it, like at 10 o'clock it's ECW Hardcore TV. So like Saturdays for me was like wrestling days. Like just you have these shows coming up and you're just like, oh good, I can't wait to see what happens. And that
Yeah.
combined with with all the cartoons, like I loved the Tick also when I was a kid.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. That was good.
Because like you have like X superheroes and with wrestling, you have the attire, the colorful attire. You have everybody having their distinct character. You have like the theming of good versus evil. It's all the same, brother. It's like it like fits. And with Marvel, what they've been doing is ever since like they failed with like that Ant-Man and they failed with they didn't really fail with because I liked the Doctor Strange movie. Of course, I liked it. Because it was just so different, but on all these movies you're seeing them go back to past. Like in the Spider-Man movie, you get Toby and Andrew Garfield coming back as
Yeah,
Spider-Man. You get like also like Jamie Foxx. You get Doctor Octopus. You get Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, and then like in the Doctor Strange movie, you get the X, you get Professor X, and then in Deadpool and Wolverine, like it's pretty much everybody, and then they throw in Channing Tatum's Gambit, and I did love Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine, honestly. It was a fun like little love letter to all like the Fox, Daredevil, Blade. Seeing Blade, my God, seeing Wesley Snipes as Blade. You talk about a nostalgia pop.
Yeah.
Like like that was so cool. Like if we're talking about like comic book movies, Blade 1 was the start of like all the comic book movies because that was like 98 before Spider-Man, before X-Men,
Yeah.
before like the rebirth of Batman. Like it was Blade, and it was so cool to see like him with the swords cutting up vampires, and the story was cool. And then you get Blade 2, and it was just excellent. And then there's Blade 3, and then Triple H is in there, and the less said about that, the better. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just when you see that, and like I noticed like Marvel is starting to use like the older name talents, kind of like how wrestling would go back to these older known entities, like whether we see that in WWE with them going to, with John Cena on this retirement tour, like in New Japan, I love him, but you have him Goto as your world champion, and then in AEW you have like the all elderly wrestling with Cole, Christian. I love them, but the Hurt Syndicate, you have all these older talents, and it kind of seems like they're bringing in all these older talents now because everybody's kind of feeling like a little bit of a downtime in wrestling. And when it comes into downtime, you sort of rely on like reliable hands, reliable names, and that's why we're getting what we're getting right now. Which
Yeah.
I,
I also think that there's just a fear to try something new. And I think
yeah,
even if you look at just like media in general, like a lot of stuff that's coming out now, it's just rehash of old stuff.
yeah,
Look at Disney. There's so many live action stuff that's coming out of just existing,
Lilo and Stitch,
cartoons.
yeah,
Yeah, and so like I feel like media in general is a lot of companies are afraid to try something new, try to create something. It's the same thing in wrestling, especially like in New Japan. It's like let's try something new. Let's try and get a new young guy over. Let's create a new star for people to gain affection for. But it takes a lot of work and planning to do that. And a lot of these media companies are like, oh yeah, let's go to Old Faithful. Let's recreate something we know works. Which I get that from a business
yeah,
perspective. If you know if it works, don't if it's broke, don't fix it. And so I get that, but then you just lack the creativity. There's nothing new, and it's just the same stories, same characters over and over. Obviously, with other media, that they have the advantage of their characters, being fictional and
yeah,
animated, and it's really easy to kind of re-churn the wheel there. But then when you turn to something like wrestling, it's like, yeah, these guys are going to eventually retire, and I know in Mexico they will get like new versions of people, and you'll have another La Parca, and you'll have another Mystico or whatever.
yeah,
They'll exchange a mask, but when the rest of the world really don't do that. Like once the star is done, they're done.
yeah.
And I do think that a lot of wrestling companies are. I feel like they're gun shy to really get behind some of the new young talent and really push them forward.
Yeah, because like I remember Jericho went on Inside the NBA, right? And then you go on NBA Twitter, and all they were doing is roasting Jericho for being a has-been, being fat, being old. And you think like that would have told uh, the powers that be like what direction they should be going, and they kind of went like that when they went with like Hangman and Moxley. But like you just staying in your safety zone for too long can lead to like just there to be no real way to go for your forward. Like we saw with Pro Wrestling Noah, they stayed for so long with the guys from All Japan, and that by the time they had gotten to push a Morishima, push a Marufuji, push a Kenta, it was too late. And like all the guys that were on top were too old and too hurt or dead to put them over. So nobody was really established. They didn't get to establish anybody from that period. if I look at
Mhm.
it right now, because I kind of made this point earlier in some other Discord, I don't know if it was whatever, but like right now, it's sort of similar to the period where Tanahashi rose up, and it never needed to be, but like you back then, you just had Tanahashi, Makabe, and like Nakamura as like a couple. Those are the guys you're gonna push, and then you had like Giant Bernard there to help them along. And you did have like a little bit later, you had Tenzan, Kojima, and Nagata still as reliable main eventers, but they were on the downturn of their careers while Tanahashi was and Nakamura were going up. And right now in New Japan, I see it like you got Tsuji, you got Oiwa, you got Narita, you got Narita. You have you have Uemura. You might have Gabe. Who knows how long you'll have Gabe for? And then you have Goto. You have Ishii. You have Zack Sabre Jr. as like the longtime stalwarts, like in the upper mid card and main event to help them along. But like they they had all these chances with the stars to make Suji. They had so many chances to make Suji, and they didn't. And now the guys that could have made them aren't there anymore. Because like we don't, Naito is not there. Why I still don't understand. Not giving Suji the G1 and not giving Suji Naito at the Dome. That doesn't it doesn't compute in my head. Like
Yeah,
I
man. I just think it's yeah. There's hesitation to take some risks there,
yeah
and
like
like I'm loving this convo, but I do have to wrap up
yeah.
here in a couple of minutes.
All right, man. I got these two questions for you then, man. Um, what's your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert is creme brulee.
All right. And of course, man, it's been wonderful having this conversation. I know you're a busy man. Um, and like again, I want to thank you. It's an honor for you to come on my show. I appreciate it. And my last question is, what do you want your rainbow to say?
Yeah, so I think I want my rainbow to say that. Uh, I don't know, man. I know you told me to ask for that. I'm trying to think of what I want my rainbow to say. Uh, I'm gonna say love well.
Love well. How romantic.
So love the people in your lives well. Love each other. Love your friends. Love your family. Love each other.
That's great, man. Do you want to tell where people can find all your stuff, man?
Yep. So you guys can check out Keeping It Strong Style on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. So you can subscribe to the network feed or our individual feed. You can follow us on X Blue Sky at KI Strong Style. You can follow me at Jeremy L. Donavan. Check out socialsuplex.com. All shows are on there. The new biweekly newsletter is on there. Link to our merch store over at Chop Tees is on there. So check all that out.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you for so much for giving me your time. And yeah, man, I hope you guys keep going and keep doing all the good work you've been doing because I appreciate it. I appreciate all the work everybody at the Social Suplex Network does. And like, it's been great having you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. We'll definitely have to do this again.
Yeah, man. Round three.
Yes, sir.